Good evening, good evening, good evening. Let me get my TikTokers up. So tonight I said, let's talk about making some money in our sleep with digital products. Let's talk about making money in our sleep with digital products. Make money in your sleep. So I am doing a masterclass this Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, going over business structure, asset protection, funding, but more importantly, how do you market and sell digital products? I am a firm believer of digital products because when I left my toxic marriage, my son's father took all the money out of our accounts and left me with nothing, and I had to now go come up and with something to be able to pay for, my bills and take care of my son. So I didn't have any money to start a business. I didn't have any money for inventory. I didn't have any money for I didn't have any money for anything. I was literally starting with nothing. And so what I did is I started doing consultations, and I sold a digital product, a grant bundle. I had heard about digital marketing, didn't know what it was. So I just said, well, let me just try to sell something online because it doesn't cost me any money to make a digital product, and I can just sell it. And me just selling digital products has paid for all these attorney fees, paid for me to get my life back. So I am doing a free masterclass on Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, going over asset protection, business structure, and then how to sell digital products. If you want the link, comment bank in the comments. If you're on my Instagram page, TikTok, you got to DM me bank. So what is a digital product? One good thing about digital products is, number one, you're going to make it once, but you'll be able to sell it over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. You're going to make it once and you don't have to go clock in somewhere. You're going to make it once and you don't have to go be somewhere at a certain time. You're going to make it once and you're going to be able to sell it over and over and over again. So a digital product is going to be something that a person can get digitally. It can be an ebook. It could be a webinar. It could be a checklist. It could be like a course. It's just information about anything. So if you're on my live, type in the comments either something that someone always asks your help on. Are you great at organizing? Have you lost some weight? Have you overcome depression or anxiety? Have you gotten a new job? Are you great with resumes? Are you really good with kids? What is something that people always ask your help on? Or what is something of information that you just know? So maybe you're a teacher, so you know how to help kids with math. Maybe you are, you have a 9-to-5 and you have some kind of knowledge on that subject. Okay. So let's just say I'm an accountant. I work at an accounting firm. I now know the basics of accounting. People want information. People will pay for information. Drop a number 1 in the chat if you have ever bought an ebook, a course, if you've gotten anything off of line just to learn some more information about something. It could have been a recipe book. It could have been a workout book. It could have been a how to do makeup. That is what a digital product is. It's just selling information. So what you want to do is, what information do you know? What do people ask your opinion on? What information do you think you're an expert in? And when I say you're an expert, you don't have to be a world-renowned anything. An expert is, I have gotten from point A to point B. So let's just say I am 40 pounds overweight, but I've already lost 10 pounds, right? Now, am I about to go compete in a bikini contest? I'm not. But I can teach you, if I lost 10 pounds, I can teach you how to lose 10 pounds. You don't have to be exactly where you're trying to be, like whatever is your end goal. All you have to do is be one step above what your target audience is. So if I was 40 pounds overweight and I lost 10 pounds, I will start doing content, and I could start selling an ebook, a recipe book, a workout guide as to what I did to lose 10 pounds. And people who are looking to lose 10 pounds, people who are overweight and feel like I can't lose 8 pounds, but they see me, I was big and I lost 10 pounds, they're going to then get my ebook to learn how did I lose 10 pounds. So when you're thinking about creating passive income, the great thing is all you have to do is create the product once. Either you're going to make an ebook, you're going to go record yourself talking on a topic, you're going to create the content once. It's going to sell over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. So when you're at sleep, you'll wake up, someone bought your course. You were at work, working your 9 to 5, somebody bought your ebook. If you already have a business, I think it's great to add some kind of digital piece to your already business. So if I was a hairstylist, I would be selling some kind of book on how to maintain the style, how to, maintain your natural hair, have some kind of passive or digital product that coincides with what you're doing, because that's going to then open up your reach for your demographic. So if I'm a hairstylist in Atlanta, I'm going to only probably do people that are in Atlanta. But I could sell an ebook as to how do you maintain a pixie cut? What are the best products to use? What are my recommended flat irons to use? How do you wrap your hair at night? If your hair gets messed up in the rain, how can you kind of pull her together in between, your hair salon appointments? What are the best tools to use for the hair? And that way I could sell that product across the US of A or across the world. So I'm not just stuck to my demographics. So when you're trying to come up with a digital product, number one, you can just make it like, hey, I lost 10 pounds. I'm going to write out how I lost 10 pounds. I was really stressed. I overcame depression. I'm going to write down the steps of how I overcame depression. I went through a divorce and got me a new life afterwards. I'm going to do me a little ebook or do me a little course as to, how I got through my divorce and thrived afterwards. Or I got through my divorce and maybe you and your ex are just the best co-parents, right? Let me write a book on, 10 things to do to have a great co-parenting relationship. You quit your 9 to 5 and were able to start your own business. So now you're going to do a book or a course on how to leave your 9 to 5. You like to cook, right? Here's my dessert recipe book. Here's my vegan recipe book. Here's my barbecue recipe book. Here's my candy recipe book. Here's my under 100 calorie recipe. It doesn't matter what the information is, as long as there is a target audience for that, you are good to go. So when I knew nothing about selling a digital product, you can either make the product or they now have it to where you can just buy a digital product. Buy a digital product? Yes, you can buy a digital product. There is something called PLR or MMR. You can go on sites like Etsy, ETSY. And there are sites where you can go and buy a digital product that's already made. It's already going to have a licensing agreement for you, meaning the person knows that you're buying this to sell it. All you have to do is put your logo on it, change the colors up to what your brand color is, and now you can sell that product without doing anything. So if you're going to say, well, girl, all this sounds good, but I'm busy. I don't have time to do anything. I got you. Go on Etsy.com, ETSY, and they're going to have, you want to type in MMR or PLR digital products. They'll have journals. They'll have planners. Some people even have ebooks. So let's just say you want to You want to sell, maybe you are starting to do some kind of consulting, fitness, credit, beauty, whatever it is. You can go on Etsy and find you an ebook already made and just throw your logo on it. Now, would I recommend, just selling a book of content that I didn't write? I don't do that. I like to give meat, but you may be like, girl, I ain't trying to be expert. I'm just trying to, make enough money to get some Christmas present. I'm just trying to, make a little extra money. You can buy books already made. Maybe you're saying, hey, let me get a book already made and then I add my sauce with that book. You can do that also. But for those who want to have a digital product and you don't have time to make one, you can go and already buy a product made for you and just change the colors, throw your logo on it, throw your picture on it. Now you have a book. Now you got a planner. Now you got a journal. What you want to start thinking about is it's October, right? So we are coming up on that heavy season for people just buying things. So we're coming up on Christmas, and then right after Christmas is New Year. So Christmas we're balling out, New Year's and New Year we're trying to get our life together. So this would be a great let me think of some things we can do for January. A budget journal. People gonna ball out in December and be like, "Ooh, I done lost my mind." Get your budget journal for $19.99, for $29.99. You could do a planner. Everyone's trying to get their fitness together in January. So some kind of either recipe book, a workout journal. You can go on Etsy.com, ETSY, and find you an already made digital product. And all you have to do is start selling it. Well, how do you sell it? Selling it is just creating content around what it is that you are selling. So if I was going to do a budget journal, I would do content on the downside of not having a budget. Are you tired of living check to check? Are you tired of every time there's an emergency, you don't have enough money? Are you tired of, every time you take 2 steps forward, it's 2 steps back? Give tips and tricks. Okay, so if I'm doing a budget ebook, how are you with your budget? How are you able to save $1,000? How are you able to save $500? Hey, I saved $500 in 3 months, in doing X, Y, and Z. There's going to be a person out there who's looking to save $500. See, a lot of times we don't want to put the book or the content out there because we don't feel like we're where we need to be. Well, I don't have my stuff together, and baby, it don't have to be together. Your stuff does not have to be together to sell a digital product. Your stuff just has to be together for a person who has less stuff behind you. So when I started selling my digital product, I didn't do the pre-made. I made my own content. I'm really big on content. I did my own content, but my graphics were the fool. They were the fool. It looked real suspect, but I was banking on when someone got my digital product and they read it, the content is what was going to sell. Like, whoa, this girl really knows what she's talking about. So went through a divorce, still going through a divorce, but husband took all the money out the account, locked me out of our businesses. February 2022, my mom paid my rent, and I had to make something shake to, get these bills monies, get these attorney fees, and I turned my camera on, and I started going live. I didn't have many followers, so don't look at my follower count now. I wasn't even on TikTok when I first started. I was just on Instagram. I think I may have had 10,000 followers, and they were all from people knowing me in Houston and my businesses in Houston. I wasn't an influencer. I was just a business person. And I said, what can I sell in this market? Like, what can I do? And so my experience is business, but the problem is my experience was brick and mortar businesses. So being online is totally different than brick and mortar. So I said, okay, I'm just going to talk about my experience in business. I'm going to talk about what I feel like it's like to be a business owner, because on social media, you always, see, buy the course and be a millionaire overnight. You should be working on the beach and, have all your free time. And, that's what real entrepreneurship. And that wasn't the entrepreneurship that I knew. So I started talking about how you're going to lose your house if you don't have your proper business structure. How you're about to go out of business if you don't have a real marketing plan. How you need to handle these employees. What contracts do you need? And so I just turned my camera on. I didn't have a lot of followers, so I would go live, right? I would go live at night when my son would go to bed and just talk about, hey, I'm going to talk about business structure. Hey, I'm going to talk about LLCs. Hey, I'm going to talk about grants. And each night I would have a different topic I would talk about. And I wouldn't answer no questions. I actually put a little post-it note at the corner. So I wouldn't even see how many people were on. I'm like, if it's just one person, I'm going to be shamed, right? But I said, Joy, you got to get people to know what it is that you're talking about so that now you can sell something to them. So every day I would go live at night. And I would post like 1 or 2 posts during the day of just me talking about something in business. Just talking about what I knew. What I know is business. I know how to start a business. I know how to market a business. I know how to scale a business. I know all the problems that are going to happen in business. So every day I would just take one different problem and just talk about it. Over time, people started to follow me. It wasn't anything big. People just started to follow me. So when I first started, I would say, hey, book a consultation if you want help with your business. And they would book. I then made a grant bundle. I had 200 little grants in my little bundle. I got 1,000 now. I had 200 grants in my first grant bundle. I went on YouTube. I figured out how to work Canva. And I made me my first digital product, a grant bundle. And every day I will go live or do a reel talking about business, number 1, for my consultations. And then number 2, I would do information regarding telling people what business grants are available. A lot of business owners don't know about business grants. So I would talk about either grant tips or talk about a grant that was coming up. Now, whatever it is that you want to sell, you just have to create content around that. Create content. Talk about the problem that your digital product sells. You can talk about anything. You can talk about any topic. There is someone looking for exactly what it is that you know. And by me just showing up on social media, no big following, just talking about what I knew, but being consistent, more and more people started to following me, and people started to click that link in my bio and buying my grant bundle, buying my grant bundle, buying my grant bundle, buying my grant bundle. I charge $249 to form LLCs. You can DM me LLC for the link. My grant bundle is $99. You can comment grants in the comments on Instagram to get a link. If you are on TikTok, you can DM me grants. I can send you the link. But that's what I sold. And that paid for all my bills. I have paid over 6 figures in attorney's fees. It has provided me everything. So if you want to sell a digital product, number 1, what do you want to talk about? What do you know? I always say, what do people ask you your opinion on, or ask you your help on, or what do you have knowledge on? That's what you want to sell. Number 1. Number 2, if you're saying, well, girl, I don't want to do all that, buy you a pre-made digital product. They got ebooks. They even got courses that you can just sell. You're going to type in PLR or MRR on Etsy, and it'll be a whole library of things that you can sell. You can sell journals. They have courses. They have ebooks. They have a whole bunch of things. But everyone needs to have some kind of form of digital revenue coming in. Revenue that doesn't mean you have to get up out of bed, go somewhere to clock in. I'm not saying leave your 9 to 5. I'm not saying you're gonna make 6 figures. I don't pitch large numbers, right? If I go over here and tell you how much you can really make, you wouldn't believe me. But if I said, who wants to make an extra $500 a month? Type a 1 in the comments if you say, you know what, girl, I could do extra $500 a month. I believe I could do a little extra $500 a month. $500 a month is going to be $125 a week. All you got to do is sell $125 a week worth of products, okay? So we're gonna break it down. We're gonna sell us a journal. We're gonna do someone type in what your industry is in the comments so I can make this more realistic. We're gonna do $500 a month, and we're gonna do $1,000 a month. Someone give me what y'all's industry is so I can kind of come up with what our product can be so I can make it more realistic. We're gonna do $500 a month. A bakery, simple. Okay, we got a bakery and credit repair. Okay, TikToker said credit, Instagram said bakery. Let's go. Hold on. Because now y'all want to do something. Bakery, credit repair, real estate. Health and man, y'all got some money makers. Y'all got some money makers. Okay, we have Florist. We have career services. Publicity, what do you do in publicity? Career services. Publicity. What's this TikTok saying nothing? What's my TikToker saying? Okay, we got cell phone repair. Okay, I got about 10. Bam. Okay, bakery. Anyone who has a bakery or anyone who is just good at cooking, like you just, when it is time for Thanksgiving, when it's time for Christmas, when it's time for a party, people are calling you to bake a cake, bake your pecan candy, bake them ribs, anything dealing with the food industry. Baby, where is your ebook? Where is your ebook? Where is your ebook? Where's your recipe book? 10 recipes. It could be on appetizers. It could be on main entrees. You can do an ebook. It could be just for desserts for my bakery. A cupcake ebook, a pound cake ebook, a multi-layer cake ebook, a kids baking book. What are some recipes that parents and kids can do together? When you think about ebook, think about all the girls like me who can't cook, right? But maybe we would like to cook a meal for our boo. We don't want to always have to go to a restaurant, order something, and then put it in a dish and make it look like we did something, right? So I would love to have an ebook of a simple recipe, because I ain't got time for all that, right? Give me a simple recipe as to how I can throw me a quick little cute date night, meal together. That'd be real cute. An ebook, it doesn't just have to be one. You can have a whole library of 10 different ebooks on different recipes, right? Now, if you are a more skilled in the kitchen, your target audience, number one, could be our regular people. Or if you're saying, if you have some kind of training, you're a sous chef, and I don't know what the terminology is, but like, girl, I don't cook, I'm a chef, right? Well, I'm sure there's other people who can cook, who would like to learn how to make a Michelin meal, would like to learn how to make a 5-star something, would like to challenge their cooking skills. That could be a cooking course, right? Where you're going to go on Zoom, you're going to video yourself cooking a meal, and then you can now have a cooking course or a webinar or a masterclass where I'm going to pay you $49.99. I'm going to buy this webinar and learn how to make this New York prime rib and garlic mashed potatoes and boom, boom, boom. There are your 2 digital products for bakery people. Bam. Credit repair. Stop playing credit. you can't go on Facebook, you cannot go on Instagram, you cannot go on TikTok without somebody talking about credit. Credit. Everyone is looking for learning, how do I fix my credit? Everyone has gotten themselves in something and they need their credit fixed, but they're overpaying someone $2,000 to fix their credit and nothing happens. Okay, so for my credit people, you want to be able to, number one, have an ebook or a course as to, hey, how do you fix your credit? How do you even understand your credit report? Like, how many people don't know how to read their credit report? How many people have heard so many, do I do a credit sweep? Like, what do I do? How do I add a trade line? What if somebody wants to either fix their credit or they want to add points to their credit? Because realistically, if you take all the negative things off your credit report, then your credit score goes down, right? So you can do an ebook of just trade lines that someone could put on. Make an ebook of maybe 10 to 15 trade lines of different accounts someone can get to be able to report onto their credit report that will boost their score. So my credit people, whether you want to, if you have the content, if you have the information yourself, you can just make the ebook yourself, or you can go buy you a little credit ebook. I, of course, always believe in, my 2 cents is make the content yourself. But you can, whatever you want to do. But people want to know about how do they fix their credit. They're going to say fix their credit. What they really want is a higher credit score. So if you say, hey, here are 5 trade lines that will increase your score by 45 points. Trade line 1, trade line 2, trade line 3. Get my ebook of 15 trade lines that will increase your credit score. Drop a 2 in the comment if you would buy an ebook for $15 as to that gave you links to go click on to now go increase your credit score. You're giving the person the information. I can go get this PDF, click on it, and add these 5 accounts and add 15, 20, 30 points to my credit report. You'll sell it all day, every day. That's what I would do for credit. If any of this sounds helpful, I'm doing a free masterclass this Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, going over business structure, asset protection, marketing, and then how to sell a digital product. If you're on my Instagram page, comment bank in the comments. If you're on my TikTok page, DM me the word bank for the link. Real estate. Okay, well, real estate, I don't know what in real estate you're doing, so I'll do a couple of scenarios. Number 1, real estate. If you're a realtor and you are, and your focus or your target audience is like you're trying to sell a home to someone, that needs to be an ebook of the 10 things that you need to do before buying a home. So when you buy a home, number 1, your credit needs to be together. Number 2, you got to have some money in the bank, right? Depending on who you are, you can't just wake up one day and buy a home. 9 out of 10 times, you got to kind of prep yourself for buying a home. So you may need to pay down, some things on your credit. You may need to reduce your utilization. You may need to get some money out from underneath that mattress and putting it in the bank so that our bank account looks X, Y, and Z. So what are the 10 things that people need to do before buying a home? What are some programs, or where can people go to get financing if they can't just walk into a Bank of America or a Wells Fargo or a Chase, right? What are some of those other alternative lenders? If you're trying to help people sell their home, 10 things as to, how to get the most bang for your buck when selling a home. So when you sell your home, it, number 1, depends on what kind of home it is. When I sold my home, I had a large home, right? So I had a really big house with a lot of land. And I'm thinking, oh, I have the bomb house. It's going to be easy to sell. Because my demographic went from boom to boom, right? Because only so many people want the headache of having a house that has 6 ACs, that wants the headache of dealing with the landscaping for 5 acres, that wants the headache of, saying, so I was like, so what do you have to do to get your house ready for the market? So because I have this big ass house, it had to be perfect, right? So it's like you got to clean the roof. You got to fix the paint. You got to get the windows cleaned. Like any kind of knickknacks you want to have a little handyman come in and fix. And so I would have an ebook, if I was a realtor, 10 things as to what you need to do to sell your house to get top dollar. If you are a realtor and you work with maybe investors, people who are looking to fix and flip, right? What are the 10 or 15 things that you need to do to be able to be in this group? Or what are the things that you need to do to look out for when you're trying to do a fix and flip? It's not just walk out somewhere and buy some property. What am I looking for, right? What are the things I should be looking for in the foundation of the home, in the roofing of the home? How do I vet an inspector to come out? What are all the problems that's going to happen if I'm trying to do a fix and flip and do a book on that? So my real estate person, I don't know what part of real estate you was in, but you would do an ebook on something like that. Or if you're just a great realtor, how many new realtors are there just trying to, get a break? Forget realtor. If you are a good, whatever you are, if you're a good mechanic, if you're a good chef, if you're a good business owner, if you have started at the bottom level at your job on your 9 to 5 and you worked your way up that corporate ladder, how many people would like to be exactly where you are? How many people want to know, how did you get to be boom, boom, boom? How did you get to be a teacher for 15 years? How did you get to be? People want to know, how did you get where you are? How did you start? What were the problems? People don't know. When they graduate, when they open up the business, they don't know what to do. So your ebook or your course can guide them to that. So how do you become a top realtor in your industry? How do you get business as being how do you do what it is you do? Forget business. If you've been married for 5 years and you're happily married, you love your husband and your husband loves you. How many people are in a marriage that is not happy? Or how many people are in a marriage and they just lost their spunk, right? Between the kids and the laundry and the recital and the ballet and the late night working and the, trying to get the promotion. How many people are just going through the motions in their marriage and they're not just loving and thriving, right? They haven't had a date night because it's always this and that and this and that. And you happen to be happily married for 5 years, for 10 years. Talk about what are the things you got to do to make your marriage happy. How do you get the spunk back? How do you get that umph back? Tell your story. We were married and, no. That is what people just want to know. People want to know the how. The how. How can I revive my marriage? You got a badass kid, right? He is always getting sent home from the principal's office. He is just not listening. How have you been able to work with your badass kid, right? Anything you can make a digital product on. Health and fitness, baby. How do I lose 10 pounds without having to eat perfect? But if you're in health and fitness, what's your target audience? Is it men? Is it women? Is it kind of like maybe 10 or 20 pounds overweight and I'm getting in shape? Or am I more of I'm 40, 50 pounds trying to get in shape? Have you personally lost weight and now you want to teach people what you did? Once again, health and fitness, baby, you don't have to look like a bikini model. There is an audience for everyone. If I was 200 pounds and now I'm 150 pounds. I may still have cellulite. I may still have stretch marks. My thighs may still jiggle. But when I put that before and after picture, and you see me with this big back and these big old arms, and I'm smaller, I'm gonna motivate someone who got that big back. See, we think, oh, I can't talk about fitness because I don't look like people in the magazine. Baby, the people in the magazine don't look like the magazine, right? It's a whole bunch of, airbrushing and stuff going into that picture. But people think I got to be at the finish line. Baby, no, you don't. You want to help. If whatever you accomplish, how did I get from here to here? And your target audience happens to be where you were. You don't have no education, you used to be on welfare, and now you have a stable job, your kids are thriving in school, and you paying all your bills, and you are no longer on the government assistance. There are people who want to know, how did you go from boom to boom? You ain't got to be 6 figures. You ain't got to be 7 figures. She just wants to know, how do I get off Section 8? How do I get my kids, and how do I be able to just get an apartment and just stay stable? What are the tips and tricks? Whatever it is in this mind of yours, you need to be selling. Lord. A florist. Okay, florist. Now, I'm not into flowers, right? So you have to work with me, right? But if you're a florist, you could have a couple of things. Number one, what are some of the things that a person with a green thumb is into, right? So what are the best flowers or the best things to grow in the certain seasons? Or you could do an ebook on like the best flowers, or giving like different suggestions as to how to make centerpieces. So if you're having an event, you're having a nice dinner, you just like to have flowers in your house. Like, I'm not a flower person, but some people are. Like, some people will buy flowers every single week and make like a bouquet in their house, right? Well, what are the best looking flowers? Or if you combine tulips and this, it makes this arrangement. Okay, let me back up, Florist. I think this should be more like a webinar, because I think people want to see you put the stuff together. So you can actually have like a little course, like how to make great arrangements. And you could go and get the different vases and have a link in your course or on your ebook, if you do an ebook, as to where they can get that vase, preferably on Amazon, or if you sell the vase at your store, right? And then you kind of give people different ideas. So if you're a florist, that means that you have the eye for how to put together flowers. And a person who likes flowers, number one, doesn't want the same bouquet every single week. So if I'm the girl who gets flowers every single week in my home, or every 2 weeks, I don't know how long flowers last, give me maybe an ebook on 10 different ways that I could combine different flowers for different arrangements, right? And then, of course, with the flowers, I'm sure there's different stuff that you put in it, like mother's breath. I know I'm saying it wrong. Them one like those like little white balls, whatever it is. You want to be able to give people a visual of how to do all of that. And then once they get that visual, they're going to buy your course to learn how to have different arrangements. So if I'm having my thank you, baby's breath. Thank you. If I'm having my girlfriends over for lunch and I want to have a really cute flower, I'm going to buy your course, and then I can mix this and that. Bam, thank you. Sometimes people just need the idea. Or if you want to be real dramatic and hit them with the flex, right? Showing them how to have a nice dramatic, floral masterpiece. So whether they want to have the flowers like on that little desk when you first walk into someone's house, or if they're having a dinner party. it's the holidays, right? So what flowers are best for Christmas? Is it just poinsettias, or how can we spice up some poinsettias? First it's Thanksgiving. What are like the top 5 Thanksgiving centerpieces or flower arrangements? Sell it that. People are what they're buying is going to be the creativity. Give me a nice flower arrangement that I'm not going to get at Publix. I'm not going to get at HEB. I'm not going to get at the grocery store. They're looking for some oomph. And I will make myself an affiliate on Amazon, and then whatever are the different things that you're saying. Hold on. I'm going to show you exactly what you need. I got to have my phone charge up. So when this phone charges up, stay on. If you're my florist, stay on Instagram. When this phone charges up, I'm going to show you exactly who you need. But you're going to want to follow Tamara Bradshaw Home. I thought that's her name. Tamara. Is she a Bradshaw? I think it's Tamara Bradshaw Home, I think. But when this phone charges, I'm going to show you who she is. Career services. If anything what I'm saying sounds good, you want to comment bank in the comments on my Instagram page. You're going to DM me bank on TikTok. I'm doing a free masterclass this Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, going over business structure, asset protection, and how to market and sell digital products. So, career services. I'm assuming that you're working with a person trying to find a job, right? So, although you may be working in a certain area, anyone who's looking for a job needs some kind of tips. So, I would do a course, or you could, number one, you can do an ebook, something real quick as to, how to make your resume stand out, how to make, if there's any gaps in employment, like what are different things to do to camouflage the gap or explain the gap. What should the format of the resume be? How many pages do you recommend? You could do like a whole ebook on like a resume. You can have maybe 2 different types of ebook, like a resume for, I would say, a regular job or like an entry to mid-level job. And then you can have like a different ebook or a consultation service for an executive job. If you're in career services, this may not make sense, but some people don't know what is professional. Some people don't know, how we can't walk into the office with a skirt that's going right up and we're a woman, right? We can't go into the office and we have a low cut V and we got all this cleavage. Like what is proper office protocol? What should you be wearing when you go to these interviews, especially with these little young bucks out here, right? There is a certain decorum you need to have when you are walking into, corporate life. So you could have a whole course on what you should look like, how your hair needs to be. And I'm sure you're going to have some people up here, saying something, but if you're walking into corporate America, we cannot come in with my black is beautiful, your black is beautiful, baby. But in this 9 to 5, you need to keep it as corporate as possible, because they are just a 9 to 5. They are not an HBCU. They are not trying to just embrace all of your blackness or all of your, whatever Latin, whatever group you're from, if it's not the majority, you need to just, you just need to assimilate. Is it right? Is it fair? It's called life, okay? It's called life. They don't want it up in there, okay? So leave your kunta cloth, them dreads, leave all that stuff at home. And you need to, if you want this job, you need to act like you want this job. And you got to act like you want this job by walking in how they expect you to walk in. If you walk in any other way, they ain't going to hire you, okay? Is it right? Is it wrong? Whatever you want to call it. Do you want the paycheck or not? So I would do a class on that. How do you walk up the corporate ladder? What are some things that you need to do? What are the pros and cons? What are things that we don't need to do? We don't need to be telling our personal business. No one at that job is your friend. It's just a job. I don't care how sweet the coworker is. Don't tell them your business, right? Like there's a whole lot of things that you have to understand when you are in that corporate field, right? And I feel like a lot of times, number one, most schools don't teach that, right? I was lucky enough in law school. I had a professor, and she literally taught us all this stuff. Like it was called law and practice. She really taught you like how to have a law practice, and she broke down everything, right? Of basically how it is in the real world. So I would have a course. I would charge it. I would have tiered pricing. Have a course for like an entry level, and then a course for an exec. As to, what are some things what are some things they will experience, how to overcome it, and what their expectations need to be. And that will be your digital product. You're going to record the course once, and then you'll just sell it over and over again. So that's for my career services. Okay, a publicist. What is a publicist? Why does someone need a publicist? What are the benefits of having a publicist? Some people think a publicist and marketing is the same thing, right? So I don't know if you're a publicist to like big brands or startup brands or, mom and pop businesses, but, a publicist, it could be maybe if you're trying to get them to work with you, but you want to have a digital product that's not taking your time, you could do a book basically on maybe giving 5 tips on how to go out, different things that they can do to go and drum up some organic leads or some organic like networking things. So like, hey, here are some conferences that I think people should attend to. Here are some things that your brand needs to already have before you are embarking on, hiring a PR person. Here are some ways that you can kind of get your own publicity before you're ready to embark on me, because a person's going to buy your ebook 9 out of 10 times because they can't quite afford you. So if you make your ebook more affordable, you can kind of get that entry level person to kind of get some wins with the ebook. And then once they get some wins with the ebook and they say, you know what you're talking about, then they're going to now want to, encompass or book your services. So that's what I would do for publicists. Okay, nurse. If you're a nurse, you can talk about anything health related, right? So you can talk about, you can have an ebook that encompasses maybe like, I like 10, the number 10, like the 10 most common, like accidents and that maybe kids will have, and how to, deal with them at home. So what is if someone were to have like a big gash, right? Like, is there a certain brand of Band-Aid or the wash thing or the Neosporin? Like, is there a certain brand that you would recommend? If you don't want it to be kid related, like, is there a difference between generic medicine and regular medicine? What would be your recommendations for healing, like maybe some common ailments, arthritis, back pain, migraines, tension headaches, sinuses? So take maybe 10 of the most common ailments that a person would have and you could come up with an ebook that can give them like your recommendations for if you are a drug person, like, hey, these are the best drugs. Or you could have a drug recommendation and then like a healthy alternative. So like some kind of, not organic. If you have a migraine, instead of popping all these pills, you can sniff lavender and, you know, massage the back of your neck. And you can give like a pill solution than like a non-pill solution. Or if you're a nurse, people who like are going from hot to cold, like what are the best ways to get rid of a cold fast, get rid of a flu fast? You can have an adult version and a kids version. What else can a nurse talk about? Depending on how long you've been a nurse, you can have a nurse book on how to become a nurse, right? So should I be a travel nurse? You know, how do you get in to like to the best hospitals? If you're working the night shift, you can have a whole book on becoming a nurse. The tips and tricks on becoming a nurse. Okay, is my florist here? Let me see. Come on, Tamara. Bam. Okay, florist. Is this what I want? Okay, my florist. I'm going to show you an idea. It's not flowers, but you want to mirror this. Just I'm going to just show it to you, and then we can talk. I'm going to just show it to you and we can talk. Hold on. It's so cute. So you see how she's just crafty. Okay, first of all, her name is Tamara Bradshaw _home. And so all she does is like make stuff, but it's cute, right? So if you're the florist, you would focus less on the making of the vase and focus more on the different flowers that you will put in the vase. But it doesn't have to be anything long, you know, this and just showing them how you can make different things, right? Or, so like she's going to make a wreath out of this little foam noodle. She's going to wrap some flowers around it, right? So although you're a florist and you're selling real flowers, right? If you're located in LA, a person in Idaho is not going to purchase flowers from you, but they want flower ideas. So although you're a florist, you can kind of show them how to make fun things without having to buy your flowers. They're going to buy the idea. Oh my God, cute idea. Let me try this. Or, oh my God, I didn't know that these two things together, you know, would come out like this. Or how do you decorate your home? Or, you know, how to make a cute centerpiece. Or it's what is it, fall? Like people have these pumpkins. Like, so how would you do a floral arrangements, bringing in the colors of orange, brown, and yellow? That's what you want to kind of have it more of a. That's what I'm saying. A course. A person wants to be visual, seeing you put all these different things together. So that's what I would do. Okay, I have cell phone repair on here. Well, cell phone repair, you really can't. We can't fix the phone, but if you're in cell phone repair, you're always fixing broke phones, right? So what are the best, I would say, ancillary products for the phone? is an Apple charger, like, is it true that if I buy the $10 Amazon charger, it's going to mess up my iPhone? Do I need to have the Apple iPhone? So what are your recommendations for the accessories, the chargers? What's your recommendations for, like, what kind of case needs to be on the phone? Is outer box the best? Do I need a screen protector or not? You can kind of give tips and tricks. Like, if my phone falls in the water, what should I do? If my phone overheats, what should I do? Another great thing you can do with cell phone repair is forget the repair. Think about the cell phone. How many non-tech people are trying to work an iPhone or an Android, right? So you can have an ebook basically on how do you work the phone? How do you find a device on Find My iPhone? Like, how do you work, as far as going through the Apple Cloud, and, how do you recover data? Or you can kind of give a whole walk down as to how to back up your phone. So in case you lose your phone, you already have everything backed up. So if you're in cell phone repair, write down 5 problems that your cell phone repair client has. When they come to you and the phone's not repairable and they got to buy a whole new phone, 9 out of 10 times they could care less about the phone. They want the photos. They want the text messages. They want what was in the phone, right? So you can have an ebook, you can have a little course, right? Like an iPhone 101, an Android 101. I'm going to show you how to back up this information, right? Yes, I can, depending on what Apple store I go to, they may just say, oh, well, just do 1, 2, and 3. When you get home, you can't do 1, 2, or 3. You could be, if you sell cases or ancillary products, you can promote why you need a screen protector, why you need a certain case, why you need a certain charger, and either you sell it yourself, or you can become an affiliate for a brand or an Amazon and then promote people to go to that brand. But you're talking about, preserving the integrity of the phone or preserving your data. So no matter what your industry is in, there is a digital product for you. Or what do you know? What have you overcome? What is your knowledge in? You can sell that knowledge. But just always keep in mind, you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have everything together. All you have to do is have more than what your target audience has. If I lost 10 pounds and I still have 20 pounds to go, my target audience, I'm not talking to Misfit. I'm not talking to the girl who's in the gym 5 days a week. That's not my target audience. I'm talking to the girl who hasn't worked out in 6 months. I'm talking to the girl who's overweight, who isn't in the gym. And I'm showing her, girl, let me show you how I lost 10 pounds. I lost 10 pounds by doing this, this, and this. I walk, I boom, boom, boom. So she's going to buy my ebook or buy my course or buy my workout routine just because to learn how to lose 10 pounds. So when you're thinking about creating your digital product, think about what it is that you know. And you're just selling that. Because people want to know how to get from point A to point B. That's what you're selling. You only have to create the product once. You can be on vacation. You can be at your 9-to-5 job. You can be at home watching TV. People will buy it over and over and over and over and over and over and over. Okay? So, if you like anything about what I was talking about tonight and you're on my Instagram page, you want to comment the word bank. If you're on my TikTok page, you want to DM me the word bank. I'm having a free masterclass this Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, going over the proper business structure, asset protection, marketing, and selling a digital product. Because, like I said, left a toxic marriage, husband tried to kill me, had to pack up all my stuff and move to a brand new state. Then he took all the money out the account, and then he locked me out of my business. So I literally have survived and thrived and paid over 6 figures in attorney's fees just on selling a digital product. Okay, so it works. You don't have to have a large following. You don't have to be big on social media. All you have to do is have the product and then know how to market that product. So this Sunday, 9 p.m., I'm doing a free masterclass going over how to properly structure your business and then how to market and sell a product on how to market and sell a digital product, because everyone needs to have it could be just savings money. It could be just Christmas money.